Hi, it's Matt here for Newsshooter.com at NAB 2018. I'm with Mike from ARRI. Now, SkyPanel's Firmware 4.0, ton of new stuff in there. Just run me through some of the key features.
Yeah, so again, this is our fourth major firmware update for the SkyPanels, and we put 10 new features in there. So again, when we do our firmware updates, they're not just bug fixes or minor things. We actually add new capabilities to the fixture. And in Firmware 4, we added 10 more. So the major new feature in Firmware 4 is the extended color control. And what extended color control is, basically it allows you to pick a color point, so in any way that you want, whether it be a CCT or a gel or an RGB value, and then you could take that color and then with 8 controls, you could kind of very intuitively and in a human way pull and push that color around the spectrum. So maybe you want to add red to it, you could just add red to that color. So you don't need to figure out, how do I get that color more red? You don't have to figure that out. The SkyPanel does the math for you. So all you have to do is tell it, I want more red or less blue, or I want it to be warmer or cooler, more saturated, desaturated, and it will do the math inside to get it to that color point that you want. So you can kind of customize the color point in a lot of very intuitive ways. I could give you a little bit of a demo here. So I'm going to put it in extended color mode here, and now I could take this color and I could warm it up, or I could cool it down. I could go over here and let's see, I'm going to add some red to it. So it pulls it towards red or pulls it the other way. I could show you, I could desaturate this color, or I could add more saturation to it. So very intuitive controls, and then you could store that in a preset if you want. So that's extended color control, works for any color mode in here. You could do it through the onboard controls or through DMX. We also have one of the other new features is what we call light engine DMX control. So all SkyPanels are made up of different light engines. Some people don't know that. So for example, the S30 here has 1 light engine, while the S360, our big guy, has 12 light engines in it. And now through DMX, you can control each of those light engines individually. So it's like having basically 12 S30s in one light. And with that, you could do a lot of things. You program your own kind of custom effect. You can pixel map them and run video signal over them and get really interesting effects over it. So it kind of gives a lot more control to the programmer and how they want to control the SkyPanels. And you can do that through, we have 6 modes, 8-bit and 16-bit mode, CCT, RGBW, HSI, and XY coordinates. So that's going to be really great for people who really want to dive in and have really fine-tuned control over it. We also, in 3.0 we had lighting effects built into the SkyPanel, and now we're adding 4 additional lighting effects. We have explosion, so you could have like a fast explosion, like a muzzle flash, or a slow one, like a kind of more like a fireball. We have fluorescent flicker. So that mimics like a fluorescent bulb that has a malfunctioning ballast to it. We have a process effect, so that kind of mimics the effect of a street light passing over a car. So it actually uses, it's great on the S120 because it uses those 4 light engines and passes the light down the surface of the SkyPanel. So that's really cool. And then we also have welding. So welding, kind of mimics the spark of a high arc, or of an arc of a welding source. And all of those you can select whatever color that you want. So those are pre-programmed. So now we have 17 lighting effects pre-programmed into the SkyPanel, which is really nice. We have a bunch of other features as well. We have a stage mode, which is great for dimming for live audiences. So it's not for motion picture capture, but for live audiences, it gives a very beautiful dimming down to 0 without any sudden drop-off as intensity. We also have an ultimate DMX mode. So ultimate DMX mode allows you to select whatever color mode that you want in one DMX mode. So you no longer have to switch between DMX modes when you want to go from a color temperature to a lighting effect. So that's really handy as well. And the last one I'll mention here is a web portal. So in the web portal, each SkyPanel can generate a web page. And that web page you can access through Ethernet, and you can have complete control over the SkyPanel doing that. Set all of the fixture settings, change the color, whatever you want to do. We have a lot more in there, so if you want to check it out, they could go to our website. It's arri.com/SkyPanel Firmware 4.
Is this firmware available now, or is it coming soon?
So we have a beta version that's released now. It's on our website. It's a free download. You can get that off our website. It's a beta version. The final version will be released on April 20th. So there's not too much difference between the beta and the final release. We're just kind of QCing it at the moment. We want to make sure that there's no bugs in it when we release it. But April 20th, final version, beta available now. So
thanks very much.
Yeah, no problem.